Alright, welcome back to We Play Games. I'm Walker, and here we are resuming our China Stands Up campaign. This will probably be the last episode simply because we are running out of raw resources. So you can see here that all of our resources are just insanely expensive, and we've pretty much maxed out our extraction. But there is something that we haven't done yet, which I think we're definitely strong enough to have started doing a while ago, but I just didn't want to for hassle's sake. We're just gonna start ignoring infamy. We're gonna try to find our resources as quickly as we can, and one of the easiest ways to do that, of course, is puppeting people. So we're gonna just start puppeting some of the really big nations, see how the great powers respond. I would love to be able to create friends via regime change, but unfortunately regime change doesn't really exist in Victoria 3 at the moment. But that's okay. This is sort of like regime change, right? We're gonna get a bunch of people embargoing us, and then we'll turn around and attack them, and then we'll just see where our economy goes from there. Canada backed down, but because Canada is so rich in terms of natural resources, that's a huge win for us. So let's see who else we can turn into puppets out here. Oh, we could turn the Ottoman Empire into a puppet? Hell yeah, let's do it. This is gonna be really great for our economy. Just super great for our economy. Yeah, we grab an Ottoman puppet. That would be sick. Who's the next biggest empire that we can puppet here? We already have Sweden and Netherlands and Mexico and Egypt and Japan all as our subjects. I guess we could technically puppet Spain, but we don't really need it. Ooh, and radical Austria is trying to emerge over here, and they have multiculturalism. Oh my god, that is truly radical. I'm a little jealous. We never really found a position where we could enact multiculturalism here. Ottomans, are you for real, bro? Are you actually gonna fight us? That's really brave. It's very stupid, but it is very brave. Yep, Ottomans back down. There we go. Whatever, we could puppet Siam, that's fine. We're already up to 314 infamy. So what this means, of course, is that any land that we conquer from here on out is going to be mostly unusable, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be usable by us, because you can see that none of the Canadian territories have actually gained any radicals, because we haven't conquered their territory, so we haven't gotten any radicals from conquest that we would normally be getting. As long as we don't actually absorb any of our our new puppets, we'll be fine. Oh my god, Siam is gonna fight us? And of course, right on time, there's just a massive war in Europe. That makes sense. You guys should be fighting each other. There's really important stuff going on there. Yeah, don't look outward in the world, Europe. Just look to each other. So yeah, as soon as we're done with Siam, we'll turn around, we'll puppet Brazil. And then I think we'll start chopping our European, air quote, friends apart. We got a lot of rivals out here, right? Just a bunch of people who are mad about our giant amount of infamy. And look at that GDP for Canada. They're gonna get so much money just being part of our market. They should really be thanking us, I think. Oh, Siam, you did do this to yourself. I hope you know you did this to yourself. You could have just backed down. You saw that there was a great example from Canada and the Ottoman Empire. Just surrender. All right, well, we crushed Siam. I think that means it's a go time here on Brazil. Oh, cool, and that's gonna draw the United States in? Excellent. I mean, I guess if we're going to be fighting the United States, we could liberate Texas. That would be pretty cool. If the US is dumb enough to fight us like this, then they will pay for it. Ooh, it looks like Russia has jumped on that war. All right, I wish I'd reserved a little bit of maneuvers to spend on a fight with Russia, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Because we couldn't add any war goals against Russia, it's going to be pretty easy for us to knock them out of the war, I think. All right, war with Brazil has broken out. So we have troops prepared. Let's go ahead and just do naval invasions for everybody. Ooh, and there's a capitalist revolt in Germany. So they are forming a presidential republic, but it's an oligarchy? That's wild. All right, cool. Yep, we have seized a beachhead in Rio, and that means it's over for poor Brazil. But, you know, Brazil, don't look at this as a bad thing. Look what's happening to the GDP for Canada. That's going to happen to you too, we promise. All right, Russia got knocked out of the war. So now it's just us in the United States and Brazil. All right, so the German capitalist revolt is over. Oh, it looks like they actually won. So there's going to be a dictatorial position here inside of Germany. Oh my god, we're up to 75% chance on enacting public health care. We didn't even really care that much about it. It's just, you know, it was there. We might as well grab it. Oh, looks like Brazil capitulated too. Awesome. Yeah, Brazil, this is going to be great for your economy. Don't complain. Yeah, look at that line go up for Canada. Holy crap. They're gonna have like 100 million GDP by the end of this episode, no issue. All right, we defeated the United States of America. Yeah, that's a good deal of damage done to the US over here. They're gonna be a permanent, maybe down to a minor power. Holy crap. If they are permanently knocked down to a minor power, then we can puppet them. Yeah, we'll just declare all these great powers our rivals for now, because they're not ever gonna like us ever again after our amazing infamy run there. You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and start bankrolling Mexico. They are big enough that I think they can actually utilize money, and they do have enough resources there that hopefully if they really start doing some resource extraction, it'll power out our economy. Same with actually most of South America. All right, so we defeated Barotse. That means that we can go ahead and start a war against one of our European enemies. I think probably our most useful European enemy to cut apart first is probably the UK. They do have a lot of potentially powerful releasable nations, so let's go ahead and fight them. We'll liberate Ireland and England, and, you know, we'll throw Scotland on there for good measure. I mean, we're going to end up fighting most of the great powers probably multiple times. We have France, Austria, and the UK all lined up here for this nice little fight. We'll see how they do. I kind of doubt that they are going to have the strength necessary to stop us, but we'll find out. Yep, looks like we are just going to absolutely thrash the British fleet and then hopefully land on the home islands. And thus began the 20th century with the People's Republic of China just dominating in the world. Yep, looks like we are going to push through onto the home counties. Austria and France have ducked out. That does make sense. Oh no! The British capitalist revolt has broken out? Ah! Uh-oh. Alright, well, we did not get our war goals here because there was a revolt in the UK. That's okay. It wasn't strictly necessary. That was mostly a war just to beat them up. We could fight, for instance, Italy and Germany. Both of them are potential food for us. Yeah, you know what? Let's fight Germany, and we'll just tear them apart. We'll throw Westphalia on there. We'll throw Hanover on there. And we'll throw Pomerania in as well. And now, unfortunately for the Germans, we actually took a treaty port out here a long time ago, so we're just going to use that as a massive, massive military advantage. And if the Italians are dumb enough to help the Germans out, then we have a treaty port down there too. Well, you know, on the bright side, because the British capitalist revolt looks like it's going to win this war against Great Britain very, very easily, it should be pretty easy for us to turn around and help them out. The French are siding with the Germans. It's like we did something to make the world mad. I'm not 100% sure what, but it didn't have to be like this, Europe. We could have been friends, except you didn't want to trade with us because we were communist or something. So you did this to yourself. Oh, Germany backed down. All right, that works too. Yeah, you know what? Let's deal with Italy. Italy seems like they've been causing trouble for a little while, right? Let's liberate Tuscany, Rome, and Parma, I guess. This must be fun, right? Everybody in China is just like, hey, it's time to go vacationing in Europe again. Get your guns. Let's get out there and have ourselves a romp. Austria sided with Italy again. All right, well, that's fair. It's going to be kind of annoying that all of these great powers are going to keep grabbing truces through totally illegitimate means. There's nothing we could have done to prevent this other than maybe not attack people, but when are we going to do that? Are we really going to not attack people? I don't think so. But I do think that it would be flavorful if whenever you liberate countries like this, you actually get a council republic, because it seems like there does need to be some way to do it, right? Yes, France and Russia are fighting each other. Perfect. Italy backed down. Yeah, they do that sometimes. With Tuscany and Rome ripped free of them, are they going to be knocked down to a major power? Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Great Britain has declared us a rival. Well, Great Britain, that's really brave of you, especially considering that you're only a major power. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do something about this. Let's do our second war with the British in just as many years, basically. And we'll throw liberate. Oh, we can't liberate England anymore. Whoops. All right, well, we can liberate Scotland and Ireland, and we'll liberate Zimbabwe too. It's probably more useful than liberating Wales. Yeah, it's probably more useful than liberating Wales. But we'll throw Scotland and Ireland on as primary war goals. And having now spent all of our maneuvers, I'm sure that a bunch of random people, the French, whatever, everyone's going to come out to defend the English once again, but I think we'll be all right. Oh, look at that. All these guys we've added to our market, they're finally actually building up resources. Some of it, of course, is that we are bankrolling our protectorates, so it's a little bit cheaty face in that sense, but bankrolling these protectorates, I don't mind it. It's a good deal. War with Great Britain has broken out yet again. All right, this time, fingers crossed. Nobody rebel until they finally capitulate. Right. Oh my God, the U.S. is still a minor power. So yeah, if we get this war done with Great Britain, we might turn around and just immediately puppet the United States. That'd be pretty funny. It's 100 million GDP, but all right, it's okay. That's fine. It's gonna be a lot of infamy, but it doesn't go over 1,000, and it doesn't do anything if you don't take land. As soon as you start taking land, it starts causing problems. But up until then, you're all right. Yep, there it is. Our troops are in British territory. All right, we beat Great Britain, and we've liberated Scotland, Ireland, and Zimbabwe. Wherever. Oh, oops! There's this tiny little sliver. Ah, well. We couldn't liberate England anyway, so it's not like that big a deal. Dude, we have so much rubber. I think we can throw more elastics on our textile mills, honestly. I don't hate it. We now have enough demand for luxury clothes because of how rich our average pops have become that it's probably worth it. Greece, get it together, please. We have other wars that we want to fight, not just whatever revolts you have going on. Oh, whoops, we still have 2 more years on our truce against the United States, so we actually can't turn them into a puppet just yet. But we can do something. Let's see. We could do a humiliation war against Bengal and turn that into another war to just break them up. I wouldn't hate doing that. And that might pull the Russians in. That would also be pretty useful. So yeah, let's go ahead and fight Bengal and Russia. Let's see if they're spicy enough to try to fight us like this. Now, unfortunately, because Bengal is not Russia, we actually can't add primary goals here, but we've added a whole bunch of stuff, and hopefully they don't back down, and then we can get everything we want and more. France sided with Bengal. All right, so that means we might actually get this war after all. That would be phenomenal, actually, because we're basically bodying Russia if they fight us and lose. Liberate Ukraine, Siberia, Kamchatka, and the United Baltic provinces is a lot of damage that we would do to them. Yes, war with Bengal has broken out. This is going to be a masterpiece. We're going to destroy Tsarist Russia here. Now, of course, because we have all these troops, our armies are sort of like monstrously huge in regards to the size of our navies. So we're going to have naval invasion penalties. But I mean, maybe that's supposed to be like that. So that way that there's always naval invasion penalties, even in the mid to late game. I'm not speaking for Paradox. That's probably unintended, but I mean it's not flavorful. All right, looks like we're just absolutely dumpstering these allies of Bengal. Once again, we're losing some number of pops in this war, but ultimately, because of the way population growth is set up in 1.2, you have way more pops than you're ever going to need, and not enough resources. And so these sorts of like long drawn out wars aren't necessarily good for your GDP, but they're not necessarily bad either. So they give people something to do, something fun. Great Britain has declared us their rival. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Oh, Russia, look what you've done to yourself. Yep, Bengal has capitulated. Now it's just us and Russia. We don't need to push all the way through to humiliate Bengal. They'll accept this as the peace deal right now. Let's do it. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Torn to pieces. We just cut the land territory of Russia basically in half. Oh my God. I seriously underestimated how much the Canadian GDP was going to grow. They're going to have so much money by the end of this. It's going to be crazy. All right, guys. I think it's time. Let's turn the United States into a puppet. New Africa sided with the United States. Well, alright. In that case, puppet New Africa. Any of the other pieces want to jump in on this? I'm happy pulling everybody in. That's a-okay with me. Well, alright, US, if you want to fight, we can. I don't think it's going to go very well for you, but it'll be great for your GDP coming into the Chinese market. You're going to love it here. Yep, and the entire eastern seaboard of the United States is under Chinese occupation. That's the way it goes sometimes. Well, US, I hoped you learned your lesson. I'm not entirely sure what lesson it was supposed to be, but if you learned it, great. And we've puppeted New Africa. Good. Holy mackerel. Great Britain has recovered and is a great power again. Unbelievable, Great Britain. Oh, yes. We have puppeted the United States of America. Perfect. All right, you know what? Let's tear Austria apart. I think that'll be fun. I think that'll probably be our last war, just because I do actually need to get to cooking supper. Unfortunately, that means that France is probably gonna scoot by just under our radar due to getting a whole bunch of truces with us, fighting us in all of these wars. But that's okay. The time was coming for France eventually. The People's Republic of China was coming for France eventually. Ooh, hey, we got public schools too. Awesome. Sure, we'll do workers' protections. We don't really need minimum wage, but I think one level of minimum wage would be nice. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to naval invade Austria. It looks like they are gonna resist. But that's okay. We can definitely beat them. We're gonna have some pretty massive landing penalties, so we're gonna have to just send as many troops in as we can. But assuming we land anybody, we should do fine. These are just hilariously oversized armies here. Oh my god. Now, we are going to have to march all the way to Vienna, but I think because of our military and technological superiority, we should have a pretty easy time getting there. Oh, cute. The US has actually sent troops over to help us out. Thanks, US. That's so nice of you. Yeah, we're just chewing up the Austrians. They really can't fight back at this point. How many troops have they lost in this? Yeah, almost 1 million. Should be by the end of this war. All right, crushed Austria. All right, with that, I think we are going to put a pause in China Stands Up. We've kind of accomplished the main goal of establishing a socialist revolution, and you can kind of play it out in your mind for the remaining 27 years, but we are just supremely dominant. There's no way that any of these European powers are going to be able to come up with an economy the size and scale of the People's Republic here, especially because we do have, when you check a look at our market, we have an enormous section of the world under our control. But there are a couple of other really fun things going on underneath the hood here. When we look at the cultures overview, you can see that ethnic Han have now become the dominant culture here in Australia. And that makes sense. We've been here for a very long time. And so you can see that ethnic Han have kind of come to dominate all of the states, although in particular the Northern Territory looks like the largest percentage of Han people living there. But there are other smaller minorities, Korean and Hakka. And then just as a fun little note here in Visby, our treaty port that we took out from Sweden and Gotland, we actually have 769,000 ethnic Han living in Visby. So the population of Visby at 875k is almost the population of Norway, just because so many Chinese moved into Visby after we took the territory. And even our nice little treaty port here in Brazil, Macau, has 866k. And so this is the power of an industrialized China, right? The big problem that we were facing for most of the past couple of decades, honestly, was a lack of natural resources. But that's something that's kind of specific to having a population as large as we did. If you're playing a smaller nation, like when I was doing the advanced country guide with Afghanistan, we actually had so many resources in that game that when I played it through to like 1920 or whatever, we were able to run a full oil society with Afghanistan. And so the resources in Victoria 3 kind of are scaled in for a smaller economy than what we had going on here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there needs to be more resources in the game. It just kind of depends on what the balance is supposed to be like out of the game. And I think up next we're going to be doing a campaign with Haiti. We're going to be doing an End Slavery in the World campaign. And for those of you who have not heard the Haitian Revolution podcast by Mike Duncan, that's your homework. Just check it out. You won't regret it, I promise. All right, that's Walker, and that's China Stands Up here on We Play Games. Take care.